In this class we'll discuss different type of sources. So in the electrical circuits we are having two types of the sources. First one is dependent sources and second one is independent sources. So in the dependent sources we are having two type of the depending sources. First one is voltage dependent sources, voltage dependent sources, and second one is current dependent sources, current dependent sources. So here in the independent sources we are having two type of the sources. First one is practical sources and ideal sources. Here in the practical sources we are having two types of the sources again: voltage source, practical voltage source, and the practical current source. So you can write here practical. This is also practical current source. And coming to the ideal sources, again we are having same two type of the sources: ideal voltage source and ideal current source. Ideal current source. So here in this voltage dependent and current dependent sources we are having four type of sources again here. So generally dependent sources are represented with the rhombus type and independent sources are represented with the circle like this. So if there is a symbol like this, means it is nothing but the independent sources, and if in the circuit if the symbol is in like a rhombus, then it will be a dependent source. So here we are having four dependent sources. Voltage dependent sources we are having four types, and similarly current dependent sources are also four types. We'll see what is this. So there are four dependent sources in voltage dependent, and here also four dependent sources in current dependent sources. So first one is plus minus, means DC voltage source, and this is a current source, and this is AC voltage source, and this is AC current source. Okay, so here this is a voltage dependent DC voltage source, voltage dependent DC current source, voltage dependent AC voltage source, voltage dependent AC current source. So similarly here plus minus is a voltage source and arrow mark current source. These are DC sources and this is AC source. So similarly like this here also current dependent DC voltage source, current dependent DC current source, current dependent AC voltage source, current dependent AC current source. So here we are having these many sources in the electrical circuits. So first one is dependent sources and independent sources. Dependent sources are represented with the rhombus and independent sources are represented with circle. So in the dependent source we are having two dependent sources: voltage dependent sources and current dependent sources. In the voltage dependent source again we are having four type of the sources: voltage dependent DC voltage source, voltage dependent DC current source, voltage dependent AC voltage source, voltage dependent AC current source. So here in current dependent sources, we are also having 4 type of sources: current dependent DC voltage source, current dependent DC current source, current dependent AC voltage source, current dependent AC current source. So here in the independent sources, we are having 2 type of the sources: practical sources and ideal sources. So in the practical source, we are having voltage source and current source. Similarly, in the ideal source, we are having ideal voltage source and ideal current source. So we'll discuss independent sources here. So in the independent sources, we'll discuss first one, practical voltage source. Practical voltage source. So in the practical voltage source, the circuit diagram will be like this. I am taking DC. This is source voltage Vs, and this is the internal resistance of the voltage source, and this is the load connected to the circuit. So I can represent RL, load. So this is Vs, source voltage, and this is internal resistance of the voltage source, and this is the load resistance. So if the current flowing direction is like this, then this will be plus, this will be minus, and here also this is plus and this is minus, and this is the voltage drop across the load resistance RL. So here if I write KVL, then Vs can be written as V plus I into Rs. So from this, the terminal voltage V can be written as Vs minus I into Rs. So this is the equation of a practical voltage source, terminal voltage of a particular load. So here Rs is the internal resistance of the voltage source, and I is the current flowing through the internal resistance, and terminal voltage V can be nothing but the source voltage minus of this drop. So the drop caused by the internal resistance. If I draw the graph between current versus voltage, then the graph will be like this. So this is your practical voltage source graph. So this can be written as V is equal to Vs minus I into Rs. So this is our Vs, practical voltage source. So the voltage source Vs, and this is your terminal voltage V. V is nothing but this Vs minus I into Rs. So each and every practical voltage source has internal resistance which is connected in series with the voltage source, and the value of this Rs will be low. So you should have some minimum internal resistance for a particular voltage source. Similarly, if I consider ideal voltage source, so ideal voltage source is nothing but it does not have the internal resistance. So that means the value of Rs will be 0. The Rs value will be 0. So therefore the ideal voltage source value will be Vs is equal to the terminal voltage V. Vs is equal to terminal voltage V. So for internal resistance, for ideal source, the internal resistance of the voltage source will be 0. That means it is short circuited. The internal resistance is short circuited. The internal resistance is 0. Okay. So here in this case the Rs value is 0, so therefore V is equal to Vs. So here the graph will be like this, constant throughout the current flowing through the resistor. So here this drop is nothing but what? This is drop due to internal resistance. So drop due to internal resistance Rs. So in the ideal, so the difference between ideal voltage source and current practical voltage source is the internal resistance Rs. So in the practical voltage source, the internal resistance value is there and it will be low value, but whereas in case of ideal voltage source, the internal resistance value will be 0 and the terminal voltage V is equal to the source voltage Vs. So this is regarding the independent voltage source. So next one is practical current source. Practical current source. So as in case of practical voltage source, here also we are having practical current source. The circuit diagram will be like this. This is the current source, and the internal resistance of the current source will be connected in parallel with the current source here, and this is the load resistance RL, and this is the internal resistance of the current source IA. This is the IS, and this is the RS, current source internal resistance, so RS. So one thing, it is very clear that as long as the value of RS is high, if the value of RS is high, then the current will not enter to this internal resistance in this case. So whatever the value of current which is coming from the source, it should be reached to the load only. So we have to avoid this kind of flow. So we need to restrict the flow of current through the internal resistance. So for that reason, the practical current source value, the internal resistance of the practical current source value should be high. Then only the less amount of current will be flowing through this internal resistance, and the majority of the current will be flowing through the load resistance. So it is very clear that each and every practical current source, the value of internal resistance RS should be high. So whereas in case of voltage source, the value of RS is minimum or low to flow the maximum amount of current, as it is connected in series connection. So here, if I apply KCL at this node X, apply KCL at node X, then the current source, this is the total current coming from the current source IS, which is equal to, this is the current flowing through the load resistor I, and this is the internal resistance RS. So here I plus current flowing through the internal resistance RS. So from this, the load current I can be written as source current minus current flowing through the internal resistance. So this can be written as I is equal to IS minus V by RS. So this is the current flowing through the load. If I draw a graph between V and I of a current source, then my curve will be like this. This is IS, and this is a current I is equal to IS minus V by RS. So this is the current, the graph will be in this direction. So there will be a decay in the current because of this extra current which is flowing through the internal resistance. So in case of ideal current source, as we discussed in the ideal voltage source, as in the case of ideal voltage source, the value of RS is 0. But here, if the value of RS is 0, then this will become short circuited. So therefore, entire current will be flowing through this internal resistance only. So to avoid that one, we need to put this value should be infinity. So as long as, because our internal resistance value should be high, so for an ideal case, that should be infinity. So this is the maximum value of internal resistance such that the current flowing through this will be 0. So therefore, as long as the RS value is infinity, then the load current will be equal to source current. Now my graph will become like this. So this is for ideal case, and this is the practical case, and this is the amount of current which is flowing through the internal resistance. So there are 4 conclusions. First one, for a voltage source, internal resistance is connected in series, and the value should be low or minimum. Second conclusion, for an ideal voltage source, the value of RS should be equal to 0. Third conclusion, for a practical current source, the RS is connected in parallel, and the value of RS will be high. And the fourth conclusion, for a ideal current source, the value of RS will be infinity. So these are the 4 conclusions from this topic. We'll discuss a problem related to these voltage sources. So in the problem, it has given that the VI characteristics are shown in the figure for a practical voltage source. So he has mentioned the practical voltage source. If 5 ohms resistor is connected across the source, then determine the current passing through the 5 ohms resistor, and he has given a VI characteristics graph here. So as per that, the practical voltage source will be like this, having voltage source Vs and Rs value, and it is connected to a load of 5 ohm resistor. So this is a 5 ohms resistor, and is asking that calculate the current passing through this 5 ohms resistor. So this is the terminal voltage V, and this is the source voltage, and current flowing through this is I, and the internal resistance is Rs. So if we calculate this Vs and Rs, then we can able to calculate the current flowing through this 5 ohms resistor. So the formula is here, the current flowing through this 5 ohms resistor I is equal to Vs by this R plus source resistance Rs. So here in this case, we know this value of R, and we need to calculate this Vs and Rs. Therefore we can able to calculate the current I. So it can be calculated by using this graph. So this is a point 1 and this is a point P2. So from this graph, point P1 is nothing but minus 2 comma 0. So minus 2 is on x-axis and 0 is on y-axis. So this will be current I and as well as voltage V. So similarly, point P2 is at 0 comma minus 20. So therefore this is 0 means voltage V, and so 0, this is I and as well as V. So same I'm just taking here, and we know the formula of a practical voltage source, that V is equal to Vs minus I into Rs. So from this, if I apply to the point P1, so V is equal to 0 here and is equal to Vs, I don't know the value, and minus I means here minus 2 into Rs. So therefore Vs is equal to minus 2 into Rs. So this is the obtained value from the point P1, and from the point P2, so V is nothing but minus 20 is equal to Vs minus I is equal to 0, so 0 into Rs. So therefore Vs is equal to minus 20. This is obtained from point P2. So if I substitute here, minus 20 is equal to minus 2 into Rs. So Rs value will be 10 ohms. 10 ohms. And if I substitute this, I is equal to Vs is equal to what here? Vs is equal to minus 20 divided by R is 5 ohms plus 10 ohms. So this is minus 20 by 15. So this is nothing but minus 1.33 amperes. This is the current flowing through the load resistor value of 5 ohms. And the negative sign is indicating that the current is flowing in a reverse direction rather than the conventional direction.